Hi everyone, welcome to another one of DataTool's webinars. My name is Timothy and today we shall be talking about ICASA regulations. So firstly, what are the ICASA regulations? These are the End User and Subscriber Service Charter Amendment Regulations 2018 by ICASA. They were published on the 7th of May 2018 and may come into effect at the end of 2018, although ICASA has not given a formal date yet. The new regulations require telecommunications service providers, not only mobile carriers, to benefit customers in terms of the following: usage notifications, rollover of data, transfer of data, and out-of-bundle billing. So, in the YouTube link or description, there will be 4 links to guides. One of them being Hi everyone, apologies for that, I just had some technical difficulties. As I said, let us start by going through usage notifications, part of the ICASA regulations. So, firstly, let's go over to Setup, Notifications, and you shall end up here. So, let me first explain the notification part. So, all licenses are required to send usage depletion notifications to consumers when their usage is at 50%, 80%, and 100% depletion levels. This will enable consumers to monitor their usage and control speed on communication services. So, by default 100% is there, but we have added the ability to push 50% and 80% as ICASA regulates, plus others in bulk. So, under notification setup, when scrolling down, you will get to usage thresholds. As you can see, here you are able to add default notification thresholds. Now, this will apply to all customers. This will not make duplicates, as if you already have a 50% on a customer, it will not make another 50%, and this will not also remove ones that you have made manually. So for example, let us look at my user over here. As you can see, by default is 100% notification. Once we go about adding 50% and 80%, you can click apply to all. And as it states, are you sure you want to apply this threshold, 50 and 80, to all customers now? Each active customer will have notifications added to match these values. And you would click OK. Excuse me. As you can see, when I head back to this customer and I refresh, there appears the 50 and the 80% notification. As I've said, the 100% is default. Now, let us head over to the next one, the rolling over of data. Once again, all of these guides are in the YouTube description. So there are a few things to do before you would do these settings. In regards to ICASA, the rolling over of data, whether it would be top-up or monthly, would only apply to capped packages. For example, you cannot have top-ups rolling over on uncapped, and you cannot have top-ups rolling monthly rollovers on uncapped because there is no limitations. So firstly, you would need to have a product. As you can see, I've created one here quickly. I've just named it as such, and under data limits, as you can see, it is a 500 meg hard cap. This means all clients with this package will only have 500 megs to use per month. You will see later why this is important for the clients to be hard capped. Once this is done, you need to then make sure you have the correct settings on for your customers. So there are 2 places. One being groups. You can go to customers, customer groups, and I have created one over here. As you can see, this is a small group, not a lot of settings going on here, but here is the auto data rollover setting. All unused data from the previous month will be rolled over to the new month, as a custom zero-rated top-up. So, this setting is rather important. As you can see, it says auto data rollover. This applies to both monthly and top-up, and it will roll over all data as stated there, a custom zero-rated top-up. Your next very important setting would be your categories. Customer, categories. As you can see here, I have made one again for testing purposes. So let's edit this. Now, there's a lot of settings in here, but we're not going to go through all of them. The only two that are important are these two. Auto rollover unused monthly data and auto rollover unused top-ups. So, firstly, let's talk about auto rollover of unused monthly data. What this means is if you have a client that has a cap package of 50 gig and they only use 20 gig for that month. With this setting on, the customer being in the correct category, the next month they will have their 50 gig back that they get every month as part of their package, but they will also have an added 30 gig zero-rated top-up. Obviously, only if the setting is on. Top-ups do the same, but obviously this will only apply if a client is doing top-ups then. So let us go to this custom here quickly. As you can see, here's my customer. We're editing the customer, you can see the categories there as ICASA, and there's a customer group. Meaning, the way the settings have been done, whatever data I would have left over at the end of this month will be carried over until next month. Let us move on to the next, the transferring of data. So, this also requires a setting to be enabled though. With ICASA, you are required to provide the option to consumers to transfer data to other users on the same network. But this also then only applies to capped users. You cannot have uncapped users sending data to capped users. This only applies capped user to capped user. Firstly, a setting has to be enabled for this. Under Data, Radius Setup, Radius Settings. You shall see there's a setting here that says Allow Data Transfers. If enabled, users will be able to transfer data from one capped account to another capped account. I have this on. When the setting is on and you have a capped customer, when you go to the capped customer, you shall see there appears a new tab called Data Transfers. The way data transfers work is a client would send in a help desk ticket or call in requesting to transfer data to his friend or family member on the same network. When clicking Add, you will see the following. So, it will give you the source account, the customer you will be transferring data from, and the target account, the customer you will be transferring data to. The second thing is selecting the data account that you want to be using data from, and then, once again, adding to. So, we only have one account on each. It'll now also show you the product that you've selected. As you can see, they're the same for this testing purpose. They will show you the current usage. The reason they look like this is because I've tested it previously just to have data there already. And the remaining data. The smallest you can go between a transfer is 0.1, which is 100 megabytes. Above that, you do not have limitations. You also cannot transfer more than what the client has available, meaning if the client only has 500 meg available, you are unable to transfer a gig from one client to another. So, for example, let us transfer 200 megabytes. As you can see, it shows up under data transfers to show when it took place, who did it, and from where it happened. Excuse me. You shall now notice when I refresh this that the usage has changed. as I have given 200 meg of my data that I had remaining to my friend. As you can see, 602, 807. The transfer shall also show on the other person's profile. As you can see, they also show as a data top-ups. Well, not this one. The person you are sending the data transfer to shall get a notification as a top-up. As you can see here, the top-up, 2 of them being done, one I've done earlier and one I've done just currently, as the data transfer, 200 meg. Obviously at zero price, because you are transferring data that is already owned by a customer to another customer.